Hey guys, what's up? Ryuwolves back again. In this video, I'm going to go over, guys, exactly the commander, the hero, all the stuff that I explained in my first video that I made for Retrieve the Data. Now, this one, I'm going to explain exactly the commander and how all the hero stuff works. And then we're going to hop back in and do another Retrieve the Data mission. I'm going to show you exactly how it's going to look with some of the not with the perks, but with the traps, and how it works on a higher level. So first, let's go into the Hero tab. That's located under the Commander tab, in between Map and Armory. Come down here to where it says Heroes, click on it, go over here and click Manage. Now, you guys have all your different heroes listed in here. You guys can basically identify it by Outlanders, Ninjas, Constructors, Soldiers. You're going to have all this. You'll have in here a collection book, and then some of these little miscellaneous level ups for new players. Now, you can find all your heroes listed in this, or you guys can go down here to your hero loadout, which is where I was going to take you guys next. In your hero loadout, you're going to notice when you click on your character, it's basically going to say inspect hero, and click on that. It's going to pop up. It's going to tell you guys exactly what your abilities are. Now, every single hero with being Constructor, Ninja, Outlander, Soldier, they're all going to have a different ability. And those abilities take energy to activate. Now, different abilities are good. I don't always use all the abilities of my heroes. Some of them I do, some of them I never touch. We're going to run over here. We're going to click on perk. And on perk, it's going to say my standard perk is Megabyte base. Increases base connectivity by range by 1. If you notice, if you run the commander perk, the commander perk is when you actually use the commander. It only activates when you use him as your main commander out of all the rest. All the other standard perks are passive, meaning that they're slotted in your hero loadouts. Now, the class perks are the perks you're always going to get no matter what hero that you take. So those are always going to be there. If you notice down below, guys, I'm using a team perk of supercharged traps. That just means that because it's 5x, that means I'm getting 5 times 8.5%, which is like 42.5%, I believe, is how much damage all my traps are going to be doing. You have all these different team perks. Later on, I'll explain all that later in another video. Your support team down below, what you want to do is for your team perk to activate, you need to make sure that you read it for each constructor you have active. It's going to give off 8.5%, so that's 1x, 2x, 3x, 5x, so there's 5 times the amount of damage. What I'm using for my support team, guys, this is something you guys can all use if you want to. For me, I like to go with Mega Base Kyle because of his ability to increase base connectivity by range of 3, which isn't good because he expands 3 more further out, which is better, versus the normal base Kyle that doesn't do that. Now, I like to go with Hot Fix, which increases my building repair speed by 10%. I also like to go with, I'm probably going to get this word wrong, Lofty Architecture or Texture. I like this because the base increases building health by 28%, making it a little bit more stronger. The power modulation is something you get with almost every base Kyle. This structures affected by base are healed for 4% of max health every 10 seconds. So what I was saying earlier in my last video, you don't really have to watch your walls because they're being auto-healed for 4% every 10 seconds, which is pretty fast and pretty good. Frozen Castle, I don't really care so much for it. I might change this one out for a different another hero at a later time. But enemies standing on the structures affected by the base are snared for 15 seconds, which I guess that just means freeze for like a few seconds. And then tougher traps, which is really good for this hero because it increases the trap durability. Trap durability means how long your traps can last before they break. Now, that's really good considering if you have a lot of durability already, it just now increases a little bit more onto them, which makes it pretty OP. Now, if you guys want to change your hero loadout, you just make sure you guys click on your hero, the one you want to change, and then you can go down in the list. You can either find out which one you want to take, which one you want to add, and then you just go down the list until you find exactly which one. Now, you guys got to make sure that you don't click on ones like this, because if you do, it'll have a little exclamation thing on it telling you guys, oh, you can't use this one because another hero in your loadout has this perk, so it won't count. You can't duplicate the same support team perk. You can't have hotfix twice and get the double boost. You can't do that. So you have to make sure you have a different one for each one. Now I'm just gonna take a look. I don't think I have one in here that looks every 6 rounds, every 6 ranged weapon elimination trigger an explosion. Okay. Yeah, it doesn't really look like so. You guys don't have to all run constructors. If you run a constructor, you don't have to do that. I do it for mine because I'm trying to get the major boost. So that's how this one works, guys. Let's actually go down into the map now, and let's find one a higher level, perhaps. We're in Stonewood at the current moment. Let's see if I could. Let's go to maybe Plankerton and see if there's a mission to retrieve the data on a higher level. And then I can show you guys just exactly how you can run one of these high-level missions. Let's go to maybe a 40 plus. All right. We'll go down maybe just one more. Okay, guys, this is a 4-player plus. This one actually looks a little bit intense. It's got a epic mini boss, exploding death bombs, meaning every time they the big dudes explode, they leave death bombs behind. Quicken is on, that means every time you shoot one or something, you do damage to get a little bit faster. And then they're all going to become by nature storm. So that means, because it says lightning storm, that means they're nature based, and you must beat them with fire. So fire is the element of your weapon type that you're wanting to use. Now this has 20 pure drops of rain, 10 each. Whenever you see that little clock next to the special rewards, whenever you see a clock on it, that means that you can that it's time based, meaning in 13 hours those 20 pure drops of rain will be removed, and then another reward will be put in its spot or changed out. The ones that are like, say on here where you see the rewards and you see no clock, that means they're guaranteed every time you do the mission, guys. So every single time you see this mission, you'll get 20 pure drops of rain. If you beat it, you'll never get those 20 drops again from doing this mission after this, but you'll still get the 4 times the schematic and the gold every time. So let's go ahead and get into this, and then I'll show you guys exactly that same build design that I already used in my last video. And if you missed it, I'll probably post a link for that video down in the description below as well, so you guys can see the last video we did on the very basic setup, and now we're going to use the traps in this setup with the same design we did before, so you guys have a better idea of seeing exactly how this trap tunnel works in action. Now, without further ado, let's get in here and get this thing going. Gotta love the loading, guys. Gotta love it.
Drop the base.
You know how we're always coming up with gadgets?
Alright guys, now remember when I told you before, we get into a retrieve the data, just look up to the sky. It always shows you where you need to go. Just look up to the sky, look up there, you see the care package, make sure you run your way over to the care package. Now in many missions, normally some of the missions they will tell you guys that you need some blue glow, so that you guys can place it at the well, you will place it normally most of the time on the, you know, the areas that you're going to, because some of the areas require blue glow to activate.
We need to retrieve the data before we're overwhelmed by the storm, so you'll want to move quickly. We only have 20 minutes. Keep an eye on the storm's movement on your map. Landing site spotted. Nice find. Any attacks from the storm's creatures could corrupt the data. You'll want to build defenses around the balloon's landing site.
Okay. Okay, yeah, so now we have a lot of this little stuff I need to get out of the way.
Sorry.
Sometimes this stuff likes to put stuff in my way. So whenever you get to an area, guys, just make sure you guys clear it out. Make sure you get all the stuff out of your way. So you have nothing in your path or anything that could interfere. Okay, this looks almost fully clear. Except for that. It's loading. Okay, guys, now let's get back in and let's get back to this thing. Just knock this last bit up. Down. Okay, for this one, guys, always make sure you guys read exactly what the challenge is. Some of these could be, so enemies gain movement speed after time of taking damage, like I said, Husky, Husks, Riot, Husks, and Exploder spawns a time bomb when eliminated, changes all enemies to nature, and an epic mini-boss may appear. So, we're going to change this element, guys, to, we're going to change this over to brick. Because I mostly prefer brick over than anything else in the game. So go ahead and build this exactly the way we built it last time. You're going to notice, let's just add these walls here. Alright, so now we have those there. Alright, now we have our basic design. Now, we go ahead and we start upgrading everything.
Yeah, not possible.
Now, on a mission like this, guys, you really do want to try to take all your resources to the max. Take it to the max the best you can on some of these. Sometimes if you have the right players in here, you don't have to waste all your resources to do this. I only do it because, you know, I'm doing it solo and it's better for me to just put everything down. So now once you guys have all this down, now you guys probably will never have all the same traps that I have. Or you will, but if you do have them, you probably won't have them all God rolled like I do. If you don't know what a God roll means, it just means all your stuff is legendary across the board. It's not like this where it's just all rare or all epic based. It's got all legendaries across the board maxed out. And a God roll is usually a weapon that's got all legendaries and it's maxed at 130. So now what I'm going to show you guys is we're going to go into our traps and hold on. Got some unexpected party crashers coming in. Okay, so now we're going to go in and I'm going to take a second here. I'm going to recycle all these basic traps that I was given. Okay, so for this setup, guys, you're going to want to go in and it's going to require, okay, these guys are going to be easy, so let me make sure. Okay, we're only going up against 34, so there's really no reason for me to be using hardcore stuff, so I'm going to take 82s instead. So we're going to make 8 broadsides. I can only make 3 of those, so this is nature, so I put... Is it limiting me because I don't have enough? It is. We're going to take... make 4 of those when I get a chance here soon. I'm just using high-level stuff just to make it look a little bit more neato. So once you guys have these resources, these specific traps, guys, you want to take your broadsides and you want to put them on these corners. You always want to put your broadsides exactly like this. Your wall launchers need to go right here.
The only way we're going going to retrieve all of the data is to shoot the balloon down as soon as possible. So bring down that balloon, download that
The
data,
flats
and
that
get
I
ready to
left
move.
normally, like here, you want to put down your floor launchers right there, guys. And then on the ceilings, on the tops here, you guys want to put down your gas traps. Just like such. Now, I need a few seconds, guys. I need to go and grab a couple. Need to see if I can pick up some fiber herbs really quick. Just need a couple before we start this. Times I hate when there's no fiber herbs anywhere. A chest right in the open. What do you know? Some of the settings are a little bit different. Whoops, hold on. Alright. All we need is enough for one trap. Oh, there it is. Alright guys, there we go. We have enough for our last gas trap. We're gonna come over here. We're gonna not be able to place it, I guess. There we go. So there we go, guys. Now we have all the traps now in place. The last thing we're gonna do, once again, guys, this is the whole reason why you guys want to use gas up here. Gas kills just about every single type of element in the game. It's pretty effective. The only element that it doesn't necessarily work so well on are the water elements. Water elements you want to use electricity for. Other than that, this element works against physical, it works against fire, and it works against nature pretty darn good. Now, for right here, guys, you want to leave this open, completely open, because you're going to have the floor launcher launching them straight up into the air, and you really do want them to get launched all the way up into the air like such, because it just, you know, when they get launched like they do, they just land straight up and then they come right back down. You want the broadsides right here on the wall sides, guys, because when they come in like this, when they try to walk in like this, they're going to get broadsided, and then they're also going to get launched. And it just creates a good delay tactic for them. So this is the reason why I was saying earlier in my last video, they're all going to try to mainly come in a straight line like this. And by the time they get to here, they're going to get punched. And when they get punched by your wall launcher, it's going to knock them back out. And then they're going to walk right back into the gas. And it's an a non-ending process. They're just going to keep taking massive damage. If they ever go this way, they're going to get killed before they can get to this. They're not going to stand here and do damage like this to the wall. They're going to try to get into the middle. They're going to try to walk to the sides. And then that's when they're going to get punched and get re-knocked back out and then re-gassed. So now let's actually get in here and start this bad boy up. Make sure you guys don't put down any traps. Like, you don't really ever need to put down any traps out there. I know a lot of people, they like to prepare for traps. They like to put a lot of traps out in that distance. They like to cover this entire road with nothing but flats, normal traps and everything. Just don't do that. It's a huge waste of time, guys. Truly, trust me, it really is. Once you have this, just go ahead, put down your base, recover this right back up, upgrade this wall one more time. And then once you do this, just sit back and let your traps do all the work. At this point, guys, that's all you gotta do. Just sit back and let your traps do all the work. Now, for a higher one like this, you guys might want to just cover this up so that they don't do any damage to this structure. And then after that, that's it. There's really nothing else that you guys have to do. You can sit back and just watch your traps in action and watch exactly how everything plans out. Works out. I'll go over here so that you guys have, I can basically show you guys from up high, I guess.
The storm wall's getting close.
Now, I'm not really going to have to do anything. I probably won't have to do anything for like throughout the most of this, being that my traps are pretty high. Once again, you can have just about any level of traps, 40 plus, 60 plus, 80 plus, 90 plus, 100 plus traps. For me, I'm a high level, so most of my traps, guys, are maxed out in God Roll. So most of my traps are going to do basically the most amount of damage to all the husks. Note one thing, guys, when you have that set up. Oh, hold on. Just note, guys, that most of my traps all have one thing in common. They all have healing properties. If you look down below, it says heals attack building 4.8% of its max health every 10 seconds. So just about every one of my traps has a healing property added to it. The reason for that is that my base automatically does healing abilities, but because my trap is the only, my base is doing healing at all given times, I want my traps to heal the structures as well. With all traps added to all the structures, every single time those traps are taking damage, they're healing. They're trying to heal one another. And that's good, because that means for every 10 seconds, 4% is being healed by the base, and that means for that's like another additional bonus being added by the traps. So everything is basically auto-healing itself. That means my structures are going to last throughout the entire duration of this match with no issues whatsoever. As you guys can see, a very basic design, very basic, very nice. Once again, the reason why I don't recommend setting up traps out there on their spawn points, guys, or down below, is because when you do retrieve the data missions, the zombies' husks alternate positions. They change positions basically throughout the mission. So it'd be kind of a waste to put down, your trap tunnels all over the place. Just keep them in a very basic spot, and that's basically just up close a person.
Trial successfully retrieved.
So yeah, really, this is all that you really need. You just make everything like this, guys, and this is basically it. This is, in a nutshell, as you guys can see so far, we have had a lot of husks. I mean, these guys are all like 40 plus versus the basic one that we were just doing. And look how easy this is ripping them apart. Now, granted, I am using higher traps, but the point is that you guys can still do this with the basic level traps that you guys have. Just make sure that when you guys set this up, it's four launchers. It's four floor launchers, four wall launchers, and then 4 gas traps and 8 broadsides. And then just make sure you guys bring 1 base, and that's it. As you guys can tell, you're going to have lobbers and other things like this. Some of these things are going to destroy the structures if they're really basic level, if they're only basic core level 1. Some of these structures get really quickly. We're not getting hit by. Keep getting hit by these lobbers. Now these lobbers are really annoying. Some of those guys are really annoying, but once again, we're not too worried about the structures up there. The only structure that is being hit is the base. And when I talk about the base, I'm talking about my base. The base that I have access to right here, or up there. This. It's my base. I put that base down so that it can auto-heal all the structures. Now there's the mini-boss, guys. The mini-boss is not going to stand a chance. He's going to go in here. He's going to get bombarded. I could take down my gun if I want to, but you know what? Probably best for me just to go in here and kill him now, just so he doesn't destroy my structures. So on little mini bosses, guys, you guys could potentially just go in, kill him really quick. It's probably wise, if not anything, it's probably very wise just to go and kill him once he comes in there, because you really don't want him destroying all your traps. Because as you guys can see, my structures are well protected. The only thing you literally need to protect yourself from is that mini boss. If he comes in, he'll wipe out all these structures, and then you'll have one big issue where now you have to put down more traps, rebuild walls, having to fight these husks while trying to protect it. It just requires, you know, a little bit of a delay, and I honestly don't have to think about that. So I try not to worry about it. Once I beat them, then I don't have to do anything else. And then, as you guys can see, we're already on round 13. I mean, look at that. Total files of 13 to 16. We need to just build up a little bit. Do you know, guys, that the base does take damage? So whenever you guys have a base, this base does take damage occasionally. So just make sure once your base is taking some pretty good damage that you guys just go in and replace it if you want to keep the base healed. If you want to keep the base healed, guys, you need to make sure you guys keep keeping that up. Other than that, let the traps do the work, and that's it. This is, once again, guys, a very basic design. It stops just about every husk in the game, outside of the mini-bosses. The mini-bosses are probably the only exception to the rule. They're the only ones that are going to come through, and they're going to basically get in. But other than that, everything else will stop just about every single husk, every smasher that walks in, minus the mini-bosses. A smasher will try to get in, and they usually get knocked out, no problem. I've had a lot of smashers come into this, and they've always lost. So this is, once again, guys, the best design that I've ever come up with in the game. It stops just about every single wave of husk in the game. I've had every husk all the way up to around power levels like up to 140, and they still walk into this and they lose. So with this design, guys, it's the most simple, compact, smallest build design that you guys have to build. Build it like that every single time. Believe me, guys, I know it works because I've showed my buddies. And most of those guys that are new that follow me on Twitch, they've come in, they've asked for, show me a design. I showed them a design. They used to put down trap tunnels all over the place. When I showed them this one technique, all they did was they started running missions together. They did it solo, they did it together. They started saying, oh my god, yeah, these actually do work. My buddy actually came in a week later and told me that he showed this to his friends. They went in and they put that down, they left it like such, and they won. They used to run around and put down trap tunnels and build so many structures, wasting all the resources. And then when they tried that design, it worked for them. Now, if it works for me, guys, then it should work for you guys. Once again, I did it solo. I didn't have teammates. Most of the time, players would say this is a 4-player plus mission, guys. 4-player plus mission on 34. And all I did is I ran it solo with the limited traps that I had. Take note, guys, I did place higher traps, so it is a little bit different. If you have very low traps, it might be a little bit harder for you. But the reason I ran the higher traps versus the lower traps for this mission was it's a 4-player plus. 4-player plus means there's a lot more waves of husks coming at me. So I need to have traps that have a little bit more durability, a little bit more damage, and they can kill a lot quicker than having a basic trap that is, you know, at their level, which does less damage. When you have a lot more husks coming at you, you need to have the best trap out, not the weakest. You need to have a trap that does way more damage, that can actually hurt them quicker, than to allow them, you know, not enough time to damage your walls. If you put the weaker ones out, chances are they'll damage your walls a lot faster. The traps might do damage, but they won't do enough damage that will change anything. Eventually, you'll have to go down there and protect all your traps. And that's the one thing you don't want to do. With mine, this is a flawless victory. It's AFKable. Put down the right builds, do everything I showed you guys in this video, and you'll have no problem whatsoever. For retrieve the data missions, guys, this is exactly how you win them. This is my design build. This is something I created. I never once ever played really this game with anybody else. I mainly played the game throughout the entire storyline solo. So most of my designs are out of my own creation. So if you guys liked this video, if you guys liked what you saw, please subscribe. If you guys want to follow me on my YouTube channel, or excuse me, my Twitch channel, or you want to check out my domain, the descriptions to the links will be listed down below in the video. Until next time, guys, I'll see you in my next live video. So until then, peace out and game on, guys.